Welcome to Nagaland TV. So, Madulakawas. American State Nagaland Saigina Jashikulator for the past 4 to 5 days. Unpredictable weather witness screen na hado Amian Sopi Jadi. Aro inaka unpredictable weather hua nimite. Chaka de landslide hua. Aro Dimapur or Chubigidima, especially Idutita district. Flood hui jado American Sopi witness screen na ahese. Aro itula oporde Nagaland TV kambabi news coverage tigina ahese. Aro inaka flood hua nimite. Bishi public han tuk paese. Aro tahan laka kumado tahan la janbi jay jeshe. Aro tahan la property kan bi damage hui gina ase. Aro itu la oporde chua kalibi MLA and advisor Moadu Shilonggober along with district administration aro TMC councillors kan tahan milikina itu Dimapur area te flood affected chaka khan ke tahan jaigina inspect kurishe aro achieve Chief Secretary Dr along with NSDMA aro NSDMA Advisor aro DC Dimapur Dr Jongshi Jang tahan itu milikina itu flood affected areas kan ge visit krole ase to ivi itu inspection la opor de all of details pa saisao.
Yes.
सर मैं इधर भी परमानेंट रेसिडेंट है nearly 30 years हम लोग इधर में रहता है
You can speak in Nagaland.
कितिया बारिश शुरू हो रही कोरी अमाखन नुकुमाय बारिश पर मैं कं कुशी ने ओसल लगा कुतासी कोरी गना सामान सब इनका उठाया से रेडी कोरिया से it is not only this time well yes this time but Dimapur most of the Dimapur was flooded but for us it is not only this time at least thrice in a year हम लोग इतना दुख मिलता है पूरा इधर में जाम गिरेगा उधर से आएगा दादीपुरा आहिबो और यादीपुरा भी पानी आहिबो नागाजामपुरा आहिबो फोर कॉर्नर्स पर आमाखान तो जमा करिबो पानी जमा करगना पानी नीचे जादो नीचे गना और इनका करगना पे कहिबो सर यादी क्लीनिंग इधर ट्रेनिंग क्लीनिंग दो सर लानु छुवा काउंसिलर DMC काउंसिलर बरा खुदे सफा करे it will not do it will not last only for 1 week, only for few days as cleaning of nala no hindi do amakan social worker libe ito ikoi lab na wastage of time yase ito rasta pani laka rasta do ekta saiga na abo nakan saiga na
Permanent solution dibole.
why the permanent solution no lido saba kura laka kiba ito ka iko bi ito kam na
ito
main power wastage kura yase sir aro ita maiki laka do kya di bishi do kase yadi flower laka business kori thaki she kuro sabuli bacha kam bali bole iman flower 30-40,000 laka flower jama kori kena rakibo pani pura ahi kena khutam kori dibo aro murgi laka business kori shi ida murgi pi ek bar ahi kena khutam kori shi aro kauri business khutam start kori shi paru kauri bi ek bar khutam kore enika to kori ashe sir aro ekta kotha do ido rasta do ido shortcut ase Nagajampura ahal laka shortcut ase students kan yadi pura phira high school yadi city college SM school ase aro ebali sal college kan aro college tinta charge ase tuk manu khan do yadi thing bra phira students kan dar khan sal di kiman bra school ti jabon dore aro yadi bra ja do yadi khreile bosti aro nakachan laka yadi khreile bosti kan ase church Tadi bra, manukan students kan ha, aru yadi hospital li jam manukan. Kunba mandu tu, tuk manukan buisan dai hospital lui jabuli. Itu kan ting bra hibuli ting bra hospital civil hospital jabuli ne bare. Ini cancer itu rasta bra. Mui laka own experience biya di 30 years tadi thaka temdi. Itu kan students kan saili tu cukup pani ulai. School di ne jala ka.
माने रास्ता भी आसे
Pani.
Pani bra.
Saya shortcut asi do ting laka flat corridor. Itu bra ko itu borap bela kore. Sir iman ta kahide.
ঠিক আছে এইটো না আমাখান ইয়াতে পৰা যাই কিনা একটা মিটিং কৰিবলৈ আছে তাতে সব ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট খান থাকিবলৈ আছে তো ডিছকাশ্যন কৰিব আৰু কি বেষ্ট গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট পৰা কৰিব পাৰিব এইটো আমাখান কৰিব আমাখান এইটো আপোনাখানকে ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰাটো বিয়াৰ বিধিত কিলে মানে এইটো পানীটো ইনিকা ইণ্টেন্সিটি ইনিকা আহিব এইটোতো হ'লে কোন বি ক'ব নাপাৰে না বাট দেয়াৰ আৰ সাম লং টাৰ্ম প্ৰব্লেমছ হিয়াৰ না এইটোতো হ'লে আমাখান we will try to solve এইটো আছে as we all know Nagaland actually experienced unprecedented rains in the last 4 days 4-5 days and this a kind of a freak weather event actually caused flash floods and loss of life, damage to property, and even our road connectivity etc. was also hampered. So just to have a first-hand idea of what kind of landslides have taken place on Kohima Dimapur, which is the lifeline for our people, and to see the actual situation on the ground in the flood affected areas. Both of us decided to come here, although there are other important issues going on in Kohima, but then we thought it is necessary for us to come down because this is almost like a disaster, natural disaster. So we are here. As you all know, if you look at the rain data of the last 3 years, you see on the data is there with me. On the 4th of July, 95.4 mm rain was there in Dimapur. On 5th, 92.4. On 6th July, 76.5. And on 8th July, 122 mm rain. So altogether, in the 5 days from 4th July to 8th July, almost like 400 mm of rain fell in Dimapur. I have the data of the previous 2 years also. It has never rained for more than 20 mm in 24 hours in Dimapur in the recent past during this period. In the last, in 2 months' time, June and July put together, the total rainfall in 2023 in Dimapur was 474 mm. And of course, last year the rains were very low. So in 2 months' time, the rains were 219 mm. But this year, we are yet to, in the first week of July only, and we have had 661 mm of rainfall in Dimapur. So one can imagine that excessive rainfall is taking place this year. And as we all know, due to climate change, a lot of rain falls in a very short span of time. And that is the cause of many disasters, not only in Nagaland, in many other places also. It leads to flash floods and all that. So we have visited this road stretch from Dimapur to Kohima. We have seen some of the vulnerable spots on the road. although the NHIDCL and the concerned contractors are taking care of that, but in some portions it's quite worrisome. So we will go back to Kohima and then we will sit with the departments again to see how best we can deal with the emerging situation. As far as Dimapur is concerned, we had visited some relief camps and we have visited the low-lying areas where waterlogging and floods have taken place. Though water has receded a little bit now, but still people have told us that in some areas the water level had gone up quite high. So it's actually, as Chief Secretary, it is very rare for me to visit the spots physically. I depend on the reports of officers, departments like that. But then this time I thought I should go personally and see what exactly is the situation, so that whatever support is required from the state government, not only from the disaster side, but also from various other departments also, if any support is required, we should be able to provide. So with that intention we had come. I have seen and we have taken note of. We will further review it. Certain problems have been shared to us by the people of the area that also have been noted, and we will take further action as required. I'll now request our Honorable Advisor of NSDMA, Shri Nyute, to say a few words. After that, we may take your questions if there are any. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to you all. I'm really thankful to our Chief Secretary in spite of his busy schedule after Kohima. He has given all excited to come and see the sport. As we all are aware that because of the drastic changes in the global environment, the last 4 or 5 days there's unprecedented rains, and as I told in the hall that we haven't heard that flood-related casualty for the last so many years from Dimapur, but these times really unfortunate that the tree soil has been perished. Anyway, for me, I take it that it is a challenge for every one of us, and it has really awakened us. As our Chief Secretary was telling that we have visited Watford area, then Dimapur area also. There, my personal observation is, earlier, it seems in the 90s, I don't know exactly, but they have made one drainage. That times, maybe the settlements, the colony is not that much, but now it is very small comparing the settlements of the vicinities, and it started, it seemed, from Tiger, and it is throws in 4 or 5 colonies. Not only that, but you see like quite a good number of places there is a silting. So all those silting, I think we need a civic sense. If we could have removed regularly, somehow I think we can avert the damage. But still then, when we are there in the spot, DC was telling that the public used to send direct to the toilet or in the drainage, the toilet connections. So I think these things are going, and frankly speaking, we Nagas, we don't have much discipline. So we used to dump whatever garbage is there in the drainage. So now almost when we went to this Dimapur colony, the department was telling that it was in 8 feet was being constructed, the height, but now almost all the beds are sealed. So these are the issues. So I want to request each and every person that we need to propagate about civic sense and discipline ourselves. One thing is that the last so many years we don't have even a civic body, but recently under the leadership of our President CM, the civic body has already been set up. So now you see, like, if every one of us, if we pinpoint, if we look at the governments, whatever government we can do, we will do. But if always we say that government, I think it is not help much. So the only thing is my humble request to the colony members and the elected bodies. I think we need to take a serious business. In you can see your own colony, what are the need and what need to be done, and this has to be apprised to the concerned authority. If we could have cleared that drainages in time, I think to some extent we can avert the huge damages. But now, as I said earlier, really thankful that this is the awakening point for us. So we need to take very serious each one of us.
Yeah, to some extent you are right. Due to encroachment and maintenance, there may be some deficiencies in maintenance, and because of that it's not able to deal with this kind of calamities. So in fact a survey is already going on in Dimapur to identify all these vulnerable spots, and once the survey is completed, the government will take it up wherever it is possible to have, to take corrective measures. The colony, some colony people actually told us that there is a requirement to, divert some of the drains, and then of course, as the Honorable Advisor has mentioned, the drains are silted, so their capacity has gone down to a great extent. A drain which is supposed to have a depth of say 8 feet, it has a depth of only 4 feet. That means the capacity is only 50%. And similarly, since the drains are being used like the funnels for garbage etc. also, many places the smooth water flow is not there, and because of all these problems the flooding is aggravated. So once the survey is completed, I think we will come to know what kind of requirement is there and how it can be taken care of. See, that kind of data is not immediately available. Some portion, very small portion, is actually used for this kind of mitigation. But then we will give you the data from the department.
Another question. Since you have answered about the encroachment which my colleague has just asked about, and the survey will be conducted and you will identify which areas. So when it comes to landowners, they don't want a part also. How strict is the government going to be, and if that also means upsetting certain people in terms of vote banks as well?
I think you have seen how certain encroachments have been removed recently in Dimapur. That airport problem, you are aware. So of course there was a long court battle, and after exhausting all the court options, the area was cleared. So there actually we got full support of the community, various organizations, administration, government. departments, everybody was together, and that is how we were successful. Now here also, if the community support is there, then I am sure the government can take care of this. Certain places, some acquisition etc. may be required. In some places there will be encroachment which has to be removed like that. So it's not an insurmountable problem in my view.
Actually, when it comes to the fund, the Ministry of Home Affairs has the set of norms ceiling. So we cannot go more than that. Now, if you really look at it in disaster, there are two things. One, we are looking at damage. When we look at the damage, it is known as infrastructure or roads or drainages. But there is another side which is called loss. Today, when we went to the Bilumi colony, the woman was explaining that she does a floral business. And for the past these many days, I do not doing that business. And that is called loss. So now when we really look at it, we have to really look at the two sides, damage and loss. So now disaster management side really comes as a small assistance to mitigate the loss. Then when we say damage is infrastructure building. So infrastructure building per se does not come directly to the disaster management purview. Even if we could gather some fund for the rebuilding or the mitigations, it would through the departmental infrastructural department concerns. So also we are looking at it is some assistance to the loss. I hope I'm answering your questions. And when it comes to infrastructure today, I think especially Dimapur, both government, community people, and all of us, when it comes to disaster, it affects everyone. Disaster has no color, tall fellow, short fellow, rich fellow, poor fellow, it affects everyone. So I think it's time that we need to really look at it. Dubai city was built for future ready resilient. But look at it last year, Dubai was flooded. Therefore, it is time for Dimapur, especially the commercial hub of Nagaland. We need to build any infrastructure that we are taking up with the philosophy of disaster future resilient. We have to build today for another 100 years. Our Honorable Advisor aptly said, and our Chief Secretary has also said, the infrastructure that has built was maybe 90 years ago, or maybe during 90s. But for today, unprecedented extreme weather events, this infrastructure is not ready for that kind of unprecedented. So what we are building now, we need to look at future ready infrastructure from now to 100 years. And for the assistance, I think we have extended 3 ex gratia. We're very sorry for the loss, especially that one family, very young father, left behind I think 3 months or 4 months old daughter. We are very sorry for the loss, and even our Chief Secretary, our Honorable Advisors, have extended the ex gratia. Now when we say that is as per the ceiling of the Ministry of Home Affairs norms, 4 lakhs.
Like the question I need is related to city demand, but as far as Dimapur is concerned, like we have not received any damage as such, but we are assisting the damages caused by the flood in collaboration with councillors, DUCCF, GPs. So at this present juncture, we could not assist the overall of Dimapur district, but we are working on it and will be submitting the report to the government as such. As of now, like we said, it's the fatality is the 3% who died, unfortunately. And other than that, whoever has been stranded, we have already evacuated total 914 individuals, including handicapped, some old and sick persons.
To viewers abdan ba itu inspection la opportunity details sai lushe aru academic coordination itu tan inspection cha homoi tan itu khali itu flood affected areas kan ikla no hoigina takan itu relief camp tv takan jaina visit krisha aru itu relief camp ti taka public kan tv jaina takan jaina indirect krisha takan itu inspection to Kohima wa luigina Dimapur tak itu takan itu highway de itu landslide huabi itu inspection kuina ashe aro Dimapur de takan itu Olive Junction ma shuru kurishe itu bishite takan Burma camp itu Tangsri bridge itu Nagul turning tv tan itu inspect kurishe aro Watford relief camp de jaina inspect kurishe itu bichite takan Relumi colony de jashe itu bichite Kuta village de jaina itu disease families kan ke takan lock paise itu bichide takan TC office te aigena achi inspection kura laga opor de meeting ola sigina men ke chanai aru itikla noikina ami sopi chane itu Dimapur de flood hua homoi tinta manu laga chan jai jise to itu disease family khan ke TTMA khambra 4 legs x radiac to digina ase aru itukla noikina chief secretary ba ekta disease family laga baby kiwi tai laga side pa 1 leg digina ase aru itu tahan itu inspection khotom hoa bichide tahan media briefing dekishe aru itu media briefing taka homoi taha itu chief secretary ba kushe ki ami kan laga state Nagaland itu sal do unpredictable panipshi chorwa kirishe aru taiwa amian ki janai dishe that itu Dimapur te flood hua do like Pishipak to man-made disaster ase kile kuli do ami kan saikena jaishi kuli do itu Tangsri river Pali Pishipak itu public hamba land encroach kurigina town core banai gina thakawai itu pani to flow pa chawli na parigina itu flood to hwala ase aru jikla noigina itu nala to chutu thakawa narrow thakawa bi itu pani to water current na parigina itu flood hwala ase gina bi amen ki janai dise aru drainage to sapa na thakawa bi flood to hwala ase gina amen ki janai dise to tahan ba itu sob itu issue to tan itu tackle kurigina tahan itu achi tahan itu meeting loate discuss kuru kuina bi amen ke janai dise to itu la opori man taki ase arna news are update janai deko side give NLTV moi si reporter moilong pom with my video journalist watching nik
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.